Welcome, Street Fight friends and family, guys, gals, non-binary pals. Once again, it's Street Fight Radio, call-in show edition. Sunday night Street Fight, 8 to 10, Eastern Standard Time. You can talk to us, two idiots in Ohio, about your problems at work, your DARE officer growing up, the military recruiter that you dunked on, or anything else interesting going on in your life, including activism, campaigns, organizing, whatever it may be. We're here to listen. We're here to talk about it. Number to dial is 614-655-3887. As always, write it down in case maybe this time you don't need it, but next week you will. You can watch the show at twitch.tv/StreetFightRadio. Jump in the chat. That's where it's at. See who's in there. Probably Psychic Gasoline and the rest of the crew. Thank you for showing up. Thanks for helping us fact check the show and make sure we don't sound like morons. My name is Brett Payne. My co-host is Brian Quimby. As always, we are Street Fight Radio, coming to you live on WCRS FM LP in Columbus, Ohio. That's at 92.7 or 98.3 here in the capital city. We're coming from the west side, the best side. Not really. Actually, I'm a north side guy forever. I decided it already. Sorry.
I'm an east side guy.
I'm a north sider.
We're talking about Columbus. I'm an east side.
I did DoorDash all fucking day yesterday because the weather was really bad and there was like snow everywhere, and basically people's cars just got frozen in place. Like the plows just press them into place.
They love doing that.
But at the end of the night, I picked up Buca di Beppo. And I smelled Italian food, and I thought about going to Villanova all night long, and I went, and it was like the best thing in the world. It's my favorite place to go to, and it's open late, and it's really fucking old, and everybody there is like grumpy boomers, and I'm like the coolest guy in the room. I love it.
Nice.
I do kind of, I don't know. I just like, it feels like the bar that my dad used to take me to when I was a kid.
I went, yeah.
Yes,
I don't think I've been there in a really. I don't think I've ever been there. Actually, that's another place I've been to.
The chandelier over the bar is the Clydesdale horses. Like it's the Budweiser.
Like
they've got Spud McKenzie on the wall. They'll fucking play some Bo Cephas for you. They played I walked in, Kid Rock was playing, and I like started smiling immediately.
That's a good place to be.
I get one beer, and they have these huge like 32-ounce beers, so it takes like a fucking hour to drink it, and then I get food to go, and then I just watch everybody get loose. None of the men wear winter jackets. It's only like shackets and like button-up shirts. Not allowed to have winter jackets. No zipper shit at all.
Yeah. I haven't worn one yet. I usually have a hoodie that zips up that looks like that is actually as thick as a winter jacket. Like it works perfectly. But I can see where people would think like this motherfucker never wears a winter jacket, but not true because it is a Carhartt hoodie and they're warm.
Yeah, just stubborn as hell. My stubbornness is my jacket, actually. You're making me all hot now because just asking me about the jacket. I'm glad I don't have a fucking jacket on because now I'm all worked up and sweaty and mad.
I went to buy a fucking jacket for my birthday, a winter coat this year. Mm-hmm. Thankfully,
worst time to buy.
Thankfully, I didn't, by the way, because I joined the gym and I'm not walking at this point. I just go there and run and then go home, which frees up so much time for me. I got to tell you.
Yeah,
man,
what are you doing?
Sitting around Legos.
Well, that's fun.
Mad Legos. I bought oh my God. You want me to tell you how much I've spent on Legos since 2 weeks ago?
Oh no.
Does anybody want to hear how much I've spent on Legos?
They cost so much money.
Since 2 weeks ago, I have spent what's 269 plus 69?
Like 338 or something?
That's how much I've spent on Legos in 2 weeks. I'm obsessed. Obsessed with them.
Wow.
I love them. I fucking love Legos so much. If you're out there and you have a Lego set that you aren't using, fucking mail that shit to me, man. I love playing Legos. I'm about to make an Amazon wish list of Legos.
I think that you got this all wrong. People are extremely ecstatic about Legos, would never get rid of their Legos.
I know.
You're joining the club, yeah.
I have an Adidas shell toe in my living room that I made out of Legos.
Now you got to go bumming around garage sales.
I know.
You're trying to rip kids off.
But
I got ripped off. So when I was a kid, we had a box full of Legos, And my mom told us we could sell our old toys. We were going to do a lemonade stand and we could sell our old toys. We got like $5 for this gigantic box of Legos, and my mom was so fucking mad. Like, she went in the other room and was like yelling about it. Like, she was like, you didn't know, and then was just like, fuck, so mad. And she was like, that's bullshit. An adult took advantage of a fucking child, and it's like, yeah, I guess so.
Fred Durst official in the chat said that Stars money didn't last long. It was never going to. Here's the other fucking thing about the Legos. I'm just going to explain this to you real quick. I can't afford $300 and something on Legos. I just spent it because I just feel like I need Legos all the time now.
Yeah.
I just feel like I need them.
Just something to put together. Something to snap together.
This fucking Mario thing I'm doing?
You have no idea what to do with your life, but these Lego instructions give you a sense of purpose, right?
It does. I mean, I could, like...
Freestyle?
I've been podcasting more during the day.
Okay.
Like, getting them out of the way.
Interesting.
And stuff, so I knocked that shit out. You know, I don't know. I am not depressed this winter, though.
Good job.
Yet.
Congratulations.
But it's cost me a lot of money in Legos.
Yeah, that's worth it.
And the gym.
It's better than, yeah.
Legos
you
and the
gotta pay
gym.
some way. You can only buy your way out of depression, for sure. There's no thinking your way out of it. You gotta spend money on it.
It is. You gotta spend money to not be sad.
I'm so mad because remember how I tell on this show that my dermatologist gave me a mental health
Yes.
thing?
No, you didn't say it on the show. You just told me.
Oh shit. So I went and get my psoriasis checked out like 3 weeks ago. And the guy is like, oof, wow, well, the places you have psoriasis, normally for the amount of coverage you have, I would just do topicals, but it's in the areas where we have to just give you a pill. And I was like, okay, well, what are the side effects of the pill? Because that's something I hear like smart people say, you know?
That's what you do.
Because I've never asked that.
Actually,
like someone
never ask that because they'll tell you, and then you'll be like, I don't want the pill.
Exactly. Yeah, like exactly. Of like, what's the side effects of this Teletubby pill? I've never asked that question. Or like, what's the side effect of a blue dolphin?
Yeah.
You know?
I don't ask. I just am like, I don't ask, and I don't look them up.
Yeah, well, he said, well, the thing about, it's really nothing. He's like, it could affect your stomach. So if you have a sensitive stomach, that might be a problem. I was like, no, that's never been an issue for me.
Powerful stomach.
Yeah, I have an iron tank.
Stomach rules.
Yeah, I have an efficient machine.
He does.
I have a shit machine.
Except for if he goes to Popeyes and he gets the beans and rice, he can't handle that.
That's true. Animal fat will fuck me up every time. Pork, lard, I have thrown up in several bathrooms over lard
will ruin Brett's day. But other than that, he does. I have to say, just being around you so much and all the dinners we've shared, that like you really can go heavy on spice. You don't mind spice. You just are like, fuck it, I'll just sweat and almost die. You know, because remember we went to that fucking hot chicken place, and like me and you were both like, when we went to pull out of the parking lot, I was like, do you feel like high? And we were like sweating.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't upset me. If it hurt my stomach, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Like, it's uncomfortable, but if I was like people get like stomach rumbling, it gets blown up. I don't like to feel bloated ever at all. I don't fuck with that. Anyways, where was I going with that? Oh, so he said it was bad on the stomach. The other thing he said, he was like, it can cause depression. And I was like, well, I don't want it. I said, I don't want it. And he's like, really? And I was like, yeah, I'm not in a good place at all. And I got divorced last year, and it could just be a problem. And he's like, are you in crisis right now? And I was like, no, I'm not in crisis, but I am telling you what's up. And he's like, I can put a mental health recommendation in for you if you want. And I was like, that would be great, because part of my problem is I can't call them on the phone and just ask for a fucking appointment.
Yeah. They might also put you on something that would negate the bad part of the psoriasis pill, right?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, that's what we're going to double check after that gets checked in. But it didn't get scheduled. Nothing got scheduled. Oh. Like, I went to check my chart and was like, where is this recommendation? It won't let you book any sort of mental health fucking appointment, which I feel like should be on the main page by now.
Yeah.
Like, I try to use their system and I get frustrated and I don't do it. So anyways, I finally just messaged my doctor, and they sent me a questionnaire. And I sent them back the results, and I was like, this is not helpful at all, like, because I don't feel as bad right now. The only reason I'm talking to you is because I don't feel bad. And so you asking me what the last 2 weeks has been like, it's been me crawling myself out of a fucking hole. Mm-hmm. And this is really stupid. Please just let me talk to somebody. I've tried so many times with these, and this is the case. This is what everybody says it is, but like I just cannot. They won't push you on to the next step until you fail their test or fail whatever the procedure is. It's just you have to fail your way into help.
Dude, when Gwen was on Accutane, it took 6 months to get her to the point where they gave her the Accutane. We all knew what was going to happen at the end, but she had to go to the general practitioner. The general practitioner's like, here, try this, and gave her a lotion. Of course, that didn't fucking work.
Right.
And then she was like, come back in a month, 6 weeks, let me know what's going on. And the motherfucker is like, try these pills. We got these pills. Try these out. Tries them out. Doesn't fucking work. That's 6 more weeks. She's a fucking teenager, and she has bad acne, and she feels so horrible.
Yeah.
You know? Finally, they're like, you can go to the dermatologist now. We'll refer you to a dermatologist.
Yeah.
6 weeks from now, you can go to your dermatologist. She went, and luckily, I think it was because my wife was also there too. She was just like, look, we've tried 80 things. Just, will you please? Just do the thing.
Do the one.
That works. And it's like, that stuff causes depression. But you can monitor that kind of thing. Because that's how it is with me. Whenever I go to my doctor or my psychiatrist, they're like, so do you ever feel like the world would be better if you weren't in it? Like, they ask me that at the end of every appointment.
Yeah, just like, kind of, oh, fuck, Joe Friday, whatever that guy. Like, before I leave.
Yeah.
You weren't thinking about exiting this mortal coil, were you?
Yeah. And sometimes I want to be like, I mean, it would probably be better without me in it, but I'm not going to fucking do what's good for everybody else. I'm going to do what's good for me, which is live.
Yeah, you're like, no, I feel too guilty.
But like, yeah, it was just like, I get where you're coming from, man. I just would say, again, like you said, it is very smart to ask for the side effects on a medication. But I did that when I was 19, and it kept me from getting any sort of help for, I think, 7 or 8 more years was when I got my SSRIs, because they gave me Zoloft, which I'm on right now. I take it 2 of them every day, 200 milligrams of it every single day. And I took 2, and then I opened the booklet that came with it, and I read the side effects, and one of the side effects was anxiety. And I just had, I took it 3 days in a row and had insane anxiety for 3 days. And then I just stopped taking them. Never went back to a doctor. Never did it. Actually lost a job because of it. Because I had applied for this job at this place called Lucent Technologies, which was, it would have been a good job, except for they closed up and fucking laid everybody off. But at the time, it seemed like one of those jobs you work for the rest of your life. And it was indoors, unlike the ones I did that were outdoors. I couldn't get this job, and I'm having a panic attack while they're doing like sort of a physical on me at the interview. They like took you into a room and they were like, check your heart rate and all that shit. And you know, my shit was up because whenever somebody checks my shit, it goes up, you know, because I freak out. I have like this horrible anxiety around what's going on inside of my body. And they're like, you know, your blood pressure's a little high to work here. And I was like, it's anxiety. And they were like, well, do you take anything for anxiety? And I was like, well, the doctor prescribed Zoloft to me, but I don't take it because it made me freak out. And they were like, well, we're going to blood test you randomly to make sure there's Zoloft in your system. And I was like, well, I guess I'm not going to get to work here. And I didn't work there. I don't know if that's even legal to do, but they made it. They were going to blood test me, not for drugs, to make sure that the drugs were in my system.
That you're taking your pills?
That I'm supposed, that I was supposed to take my pills, and I never went back. And there's a fucking, maybe I heard it wrong or didn't understand it wrong. Maybe they just didn't want to hire me because, like, if you looked at me when I was like 19, you wouldn't want to hire me. You know, people have seen the picture Matt Christman called White Morpheus, where I look, I look insane.
Yeah, your lip photo?
What?
Wait, which one?
Oh, I'll show you. It's a picture of me.
And, I don't know it.
Matt Christman said, "Oh my God, it's the famous White Morpheus." Because I'm wearing sunglasses and a Mecca t-shirt.
Oh, I did see that one.
Yeah. It looks ridiculous. But yeah, they didn't hire me. And like, I was convinced those pills were causing me to have a meltdown. I was convinced I was climbing up the walls for a fucking 2 full days because of these pills. I absolutely, definitely was not, because they don't even start to work right away. And it was literally just knowing the side effects. So from then on out, from the point where I got on Celexa at first, I was on Celexa for like 9 years, and then I switched over to Zoloft. From that point on, I was just like, I don't want to know. And if some shit happens, if my dick stops working, if anything happens, I'll fucking come back here and tell you that it's happening. But again, on your side of this though, like, how the fuck are you supposed to know if the pill's causing you depression? You know what I mean? So you could get depressed and not even know it and just think you were depressed.
Well, I would know, I guess. I did tweet about it, and someone said that it made them suicidal, which is not something that I do. That's not my thing.
Me neither. I've never been.
But yeah, I mean, I guess I would notice if I probably would notice. You're right. I mean, if the pill did it to me, it would just be like just a normal 3-month crashing the plane again.
Yeah, and it would end up being like, I think at times, like, when something like that happens, it can make you feel like really bad for yourself, because you're like, I'm fucking backsliding, and it's like, no, it's the pill. Yeah. The pill's making you backslide, but you don't know that. You just think, because the shittiest thing about depression is that, well, I mean, it might not be for you, is that you think it's all your fault, like, the whole time.
Well, it's believable. The problem is that it's unshakable. They're bad thoughts that are just unshakable in your mind. They're not like red blood cells or anything. Yeah. They're just shit that you're like, I don't know. I probably am worthless.
I might be a piece of shit.
I'm trying to do the ledger right now. I can't find any pros.
I'm the same way, dude. That last winter it got progressively worse and worse with me. But last winter, I remember just being like, everything's fucking dead. I don't do anything. All I do is fucking podcast and sit on my fucking ass. And like, then it got to the point where even walking seemed bad to me, where it was like, all you do is fucking walk. What is that about? It's like, it sounds like a value.
Yeah.
Like it's a center thing. Really. Yeah. It's not bad. It's not good. My therapist thinks it's bad now.
Walking?
Yeah. He's kind of gotten up my ass about the walking. He just thinks that I'm insane. Like, basically that, like, I never relax. Yeah. Like, and I don't know how to relax. He fucking actually, I swear to you on my life.
He's probably right about that. But
I'm not lying about this, everybody. Last week in therapy, I was talking to him about why I walk and do stuff like that. Why I have a regimented routine that I feel like I have to do every day. Is because when I first quit my job at the cable company, I woke up every single day at noon or 1. I smoked a joint and I went to the movies and I went home. And I did this every day for a year, maybe even more than a year. And it came to a point where I was like, I don't think you're supposed to wake up every day and smoke a joint and go to the movies. Like, this is like not good. And then I started college, so I couldn't do that for a period, right? I start college, so I can't do that. You know what he fucking says to me this week? He's like, Brian, you can do anything you want in this world. And what I think is you should wake up and smoke a joint and go to the movies sometime.
Hell yeah.
And then I was like, okay.
Cool teacher.
Yeah.
Backwards. sit backwards in the chair.
He's like, if you wake up and smoke a joint and go to the movies, that's not a failure, okay? That is what you like to do. And I'm just like, yeah.
Now we're talking.
He's like, you're not a loser. You can do anything. And I was just like, okay. That's the first time he's ever said, like, maybe you should just smoke a joint. Because he's always asking me to quit smoking weed, but I just tell him no because I don't smoke enough.
You'd be doing it as a successful guy, though. You're doing it as a successful person. That's how I feel, too. So I also, I want to be diagnosed with something, and then I'll deal with it. I still am going to be pretty renegade, and I'm not going to sign up for any pills that fuck with my dick. Because that's, like, the only thing I like. This is my salvation. I'm good at it, and I love it. And it's like it's free. They try to take it away from you because it's free. And nobody makes any money off of it. You can make more money off of it, than it costs.
Yeah.
But I also, I don't want to do brain zap shit, and I don't know. We'll
I hate
see.
that shit.
My mom has a really crazy ass past, but she took Wellbutrin for to stop smoking, and then it kind of leveled her out.
Yeah,
but she was fine. So I hope it's something mild, because if not, the thing I keep coming back to, I just have to convince myself, is I'm allowed to live as dysfunctional as I want because of my job, and I should at least be doing that. I don't want to be a good worker. I don't want to take a pill that makes me show up to do 8 hours of fucking work. That's not the life. That's not what I got, and I backed myself into the sweetest deal for a crazy person. So
and I'll agree with you in that I got the pills because I'm a very dysfunctional guy as far as anxiety goes. I'm just I'm always anxious. I fucking own the company, okay, that I work for. I have a panic attack every Sunday before we get to the show. And Katie's like, it's so weird that happens. I was like, I had a panic attack every single day before I went to work on cable. Every single day before I climbed a roof. And I shouldn't be. I realize that this is the sweetest gig of all time. It's a gig, though. And I just have a lot of panic attacks still. I still have these anxiety attacks. But I feel better once I get started and once I do the stuff. It's really weird. It is just such the anxiety thing is always so fucking I don't even know what you do about the anxiety and depression other than try to shake yourself into doing something new. But even then it's god damn.
It's more than that for me.
Yeah, if I go take a trip somewhere, that's just gonna stress me out more, because I was gonna go take a trip, but I'm not now.
Vacations I love, but that's because I like escaping my reality the most.
Yeah,
I'd rather not be home. I can have the greatest of time whenever I don't worry about shit.
Bro, I wanted to go.
I know how to get away. Literally,
I wanted to go.
As soon as the show cuts off, I'm ready to get so fucking hammered tonight because I just want to be, because I have a free day tomorrow. There's no kids, no anything, it's great.
I got to record at 11:30 p.m. tomorrow, but new episode of I'm Sorry with Stefan Heck.
Oh, fun.
And the week after that, Howell Dottie is going to come on. So very fun lineup for I'm Sorry,
Great guess.
Very weird episode this last week because we did O.J. Simpson.
Mm-hmm. It's tough.
His apology is one of the craziest things I've ever read. But you know what's crazier than his apology, Brett? Time Magazine's apology for making him blacker on the cover.
What?
You don't remember that? So during the trial, Time Magazine used the mugshot, O.J. Simpson's mugshot, for a cover, but they made him blacker. They darkened his skin. And people fucking noticed because they had the Time Magazine cover and they had the mugshot in their hand, and you could put them right next to each other and be like, why did you and it's who fucking knows why they did it?
Racism.
But you know what the fucking Time Magazine apology said? They said, honestly, if you think us making him blacker is racist, that kind of makes you
Sure.
Like that is in the apology.
We assume that it's worse to be blacker.
Yeah, and it was like, boy, 1994 apologies hit way different. Like that white guys were just like, they didn't apologize the right way until, I don't know. I don't think we learned how to.
They still don't. I listened to an episode of The Maintenance Phase today about an Australian inspirational diet person called like the Whole Pantry, and she faked having cancer. She said that her diet cured her cancer, and she never had fucking cancer. And all of these news media outlets never checked. Nobody ever checked. Nobody followed up. And the news outlets were like, well, she still had really great recipes, so I don't see why it's a problem that we gave her a platform. Well, and she's telling people that you can just drink juice instead of chemo.
It is kind of funny because me and Leslie actually went back to Justine Sacco and talked about that, which I believe to be the first modern cancellation in the modern cancellation era.
Who?
She's the woman who got on the airplane to Africa.
Yes.
Yeah, and posted a racist tweet.
Uh-huh.
And then fucking when she got off the plane, had already lost her job.
Yeah.
I consider that the first modern cancellation.
You might be right. That might be the shot. That was the shot heard around the world.
But I feel like that's when people started to figure out like how to apologize the right way, because people would just be like, no, I'm sorry you're offended is not an apology. How is this relevant though to like the biggest apology going on right now? It's crazy. I haven't listened to him yet. I'm going to listen tonight because one of them's 9 minutes.
Yeah.
What if a 9-minute apology? And now I can't believe.
I mean, come on. And if the N-word apology, 9 minutes is enough.
70.
I mean, I would expect a few hours.
I know, but like, I don't know when these were recorded. I guess I'll say that I don't know when these were recorded. I don't believe the context is important. I don't think he should have said it. I haven't said it. I've been podcasting as long as he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think. And I never said the N-word on my podcast. I haven't said it in my personal life. I'm just not a guy that says it.
Right.
But there is also that thing where like, well, if he said it in 2011 or 12 or 13, I find that, I don't know why, I find that different. I know people are like, I knew not to say these words in 2010, 20. I knew not to say these words before then. But within the culture that we lived in, because that's what me and Leslie talked about too. It's like, I don't know. The culture around me was like, you just fucking say edgy stuff. You just say stuff that's offensive to be fucking offensive. And you were convinced, you were told by comedians and by people that like saying the racist thing was a joke. And the joke is, I would never be that racist. Sarah Silverman is like a perfect example. I don't think Sarah Silverman's racist. I also don't think Howard Stern was racist. But they said stuff back then that was fucking nasty. But, like, they have all changed now. And I think the difference between Joe Rogan and, a Howard Stern, a Sarah Silverman, The Rock is another guy they're trying to cancel now. I think the difference is they seem to have changed and become different people. Like Howard Stern is not going to use the N-word now. Mm-hmm. He's not going to use any, he won't use any slurs. He's changed the name of some of his whack packers that used to be offensive names. He's changed those names. So like, he's a guy who seems to have listened and learned something. Sarah Silverman seems to be a person that listened to critiques of what she did and then learned something. I don't think that Joe Rogan is... I think Joe Rogan is trying to save his $100 million job. And that is why he's apologizing. And
I agree.
If I'm being totally fucking honest, if I'm Joe Rogan, I just fucking come out... I come out 2 weeks ago and say I got the vaccine. That is all he had to do. He could have lied and said, hey, I got the vaccine. Nobody would have listened. Nobody would have come out. But I think he thought he was untouchable at that time because Spotify had stuck behind him so many fucking times.
Yeah.
But he should have fucking known when they made him remove the Alex Jones episodes that he wasn't as safe as he thought he was. And he might have known it since then and hasn't used the N-word since before that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't think he's a guy that changed. I don't buy him as somebody who's contrite or apologizing. I only buy him as a guy that's trying to save his job right now. And like, I mean, it should work. I will say that, like, I don't think anybody should be removed from any platforms for what they say. But I don't think he deserves to make $100 million. And I think there are platforms that would take him. Not take him, but, you know, he could be on YouTube or fucking iTunes or normal. He doesn't, like, nobody has to pay you $100 million to say what you want to say. Mm-hmm. But to me, it's like, I don't think anybody should be removed because I worry about when because conservatives are doing it today. The Rock had a transphobic tweet in 2011. Mm-hmm. Howard Stern used the N-word and said this and that and this and in the 1990s, 2000s, 2010s, 2015s. Like, now it's all being used as like a way to sort of, it's all being used as a way for two groups of people to fight with each other. And that's just going to fuck up people who are entertainers, who are like, we're going to argue back and forth and be like, this show shouldn't be on this platform. This show shouldn't be on this platform. Somebody could take me and Brett off for some shit we said. You know, I always said, like, if somebody found the KJB chants, that they could just be like, these guys are promoting violence and shit. So, like, I don't like when people get pulled off of their platform or pulled off their platform. But, like, I also don't think, I don't care about Joe Rogan. I don't care if he gets pulled off.
Yeah. The meat is the apology, dude. You got to see that apology.
I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. We gotta get to calls. We don't have that many.
Yeah, we can talk. It doesn't matter.
He has that scenario though where he's like was only trying to do it like because he brings up like Tom Sawyer all the time. Like that's why he's constantly saying it.
Is that it?
Because he's like constantly dropping quotes from Tom Sawyer or reading some sort of retelling a Quentin Tarantino movie line, stuff like that.
Okay.
He was one of those, and that was, there's a lot of weird guys that are like, I'm quoting it. I'm not going to say the N-word if that's not what was said,
Yeah. I mean, that is weird, though, too. Like, I can't see myself quoting a movie that uses the N-word. Like, I would just choose not to do that part of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, there are all kinds of other parts of, like, Pulp Fiction that don't have the N-word. And you could even do an edgy one with, like, the F words. And, like, you could say fucking shit and stuff. Like, all that stuff is fair game. But, like, yeah, he's just a guy that wants to get away with... He's just a guy that wants to get away with shit. It's like a way to get away with saying a word that you're not supposed to say.
I mean, with the point of it all is that the only arena that these people ever find it's fun to play around in is like the fascist arena. Like they never do jokes about troops. They don't ever do American flag jokes. He like drapes his studios in it. Like. So they're never actually for any sort of like open-mindedness or free speech or any of that stuff. Yes. It's like that. We have to talk every idea out. We have to see. We have to hash it out. It's like you never hashed out like the monetary system in the United States. You never hashed out like that old capitalism versus communism death toll. Like what it actually would be.
Yeah, they never hash out like what the military's doing when they're in Iraq.
Yeah,
like some of the stuff that me and you say on this show and said before was like, listen, like I wanted to be a shock jock. I just happened to fucking take this stupid left turn right when I was able to do radio. But I've said shocking shit on this show in the past, and I will say shocking shit again. It just depends. It looks like we're gonna go to war. I'm going to say shocking stuff if we go to war. You know what I mean? I just don't say it all the time. And like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, and somebody in the chat said something really funny too. What did I say? Quoting Lenny Bruce used to be his regular excuse,
that's
which
what
I've
it
heard
is.
that.
Yeah.
And in Tunage, Forrest said, I had a teacher in high school who had us read aloud from Huck Finn and would be upset if we skipped the N-word. And like,
It's weird.
Yeah, my fucking...
It's a game.
My daughter in 8th grade had a history teacher that read
Yeah.
a book with the N-words in it. And she's like, Dad... She came home and didn't explain the context or anything. She's like, Dad, my history teacher said the N-word. And I was like, okay, I'm going to complain. That's one that'll get me in for a parent-teacher conference. But she was like, he was reading Uncle Tom's Cabin or some book. And I was like...
Yeah, it's sickos, man. It's these fucking... They're just sickos.
It's weird because you're sickos. Like... It's weird because you were like, I shouldn't... Why did he say it? Because, like, I don't feel like
but he said it like 90 fucking times, dude. He says it all. It was a regular part of
70
his thing.
70 shows.
Yeah.
Which is more than 70 times. They pulled 70 shows. It could have been a bunch of... So, yeah, I'm with you, man. I don't know what happened. I'm going to listen to the apologies tonight and probably do them on I'm Sorry this week and see what they are. But I just don't think he's a guy that is particularly reflective on the things he's done or said. And like, I think he's probably on the phone with Anthony Cumia telling him like, I can't believe this shit.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I do want to say that if you want to listen to another good podcast about it, Jake Flores and Anders did a good job. Alex was there, but didn't say anything for the entire interview on Pod Damn America.
Really?
Yeah. They talked to Steve Albini. And it was really good. Okay. And because he's a guy that has lots of that shit in his past.
Yeah.
And like you said, with the Sarah Silverman, Howard Stern, he kind of explains it away. Like, yeah, I did it. I thought at the time we thought about things differently. And then that was a stupid way to think about them. It did change. And I don't feel that way anymore. And you just mature and you grow older. And yeah.
SSD control. I always think about that, right? It's like there's this scene of people like Minor Threat and shit like that. And there was the band SSD Control and they used the SS as like part of their flyer. And it's like people just used to be like into Hitler as like a thing, like as a shocking thing. They would say, I'm not racist. I'm just like really into saying Hitler stuff.
I'm just saying, stay away from me.
All right, we can take some calls. Let's see if we got any Hitler fans on the phone. That would suck. The Hitler fan came on.
Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Hey, this is Danny in Brooklyn, not a Hitler fan.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. That's good. Thank you for calling and keeping us clear. We want to know if everybody that calls is a Hitler fan, and then we're going to block your number if you are a Hitler fan. We don't like it.
Fighting fascism one caller at a time.
Me and Brett don't like Hitler, so the new rule is if you call into Street Fight, you have to either when you tape your message about what you're going to talk about, just say like not into Hitler.
The worst idea. We should not say this on the internet.
What's
actually, up? Well, you're familiar with the children's book author Roald Dahl, right?
I am, yes.
One of the weirdest things that he ever said, because he was kind of like a virulent anti-Semite, but one of the weirdest things he ever said about Hitler specifically is he called him a little stinker.
That is a weird one because that sounds like he's cute.
Yeah,
in a way.
I'm a little stinker.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what.
It's every once in a while.
Go ahead, Danny. I'm sorry I cut you off.
Whenever I'm. Oh no, it's fine. When I talk to my friend Carrie, I'll just be talking about someone to be like, man, that person was such a little stinker, just like Roald Dahl thinks about Adolf Hitler.
I'll tell you what's weird, and Leslie actually said this on the show that we did on the episode of I'm Sorry. He was saying to me that like Lovecraft had a cat with a racist name. I have no idea what the cat's name was.
It was the N-word.
It was the N-word. And he was like, it's weird that people they call Lovecraft racist and like say his stuff is racist, right? And he's like, when Lovecraft was alive, every white person was racist. It was just like a part of being a white
true.
person.
Yeah. No, I actually, I don't know how much I want to go down this path, but I did watch the other night that movie Just Mercy. It was on, I was trying to watch Rampage on TNT, and I ended up with the Black History Month movie, and it's a really good movie, but I hate these movies so much because they are catered to the white audience. Even The Criminal, like, had a heart of gold. The white criminal that sent this guy to jail for decades. He has this all shucks, I had to turn a heart moment, and it's like everybody's supposed to be real excited for this guy that lied about a black man and sent him to fucking jail for his whole life.
Yeah.
Like, fuck that guy. There's nothing redeeming about him.
I know. I agree with you.
There's nothing redeeming about that.
I wonder if that was a true part of the story, or if that's one of those things.
I looked it up.
Okay, good.
I did.
At least it wasn't something they added. It's like when that movie, and you guys might remember this. I remember the last movie that was sort of in that weird world of like The Help. Do you remember when The Help came out?
Oh, that was That
was
right
mind-blowing.
That's when people had too much. That did snap. That was a snapping point.
It was. People were like, no. Nope. No. We're not going to do this.
Yeah. The white ladies were doing Beyonce at the same time as watching The Help.
Yeah. But they were I remember when The Help was coming out, I would see the commercials and I'd be like, oh, this is some lady movie or something. You know, whatever I thought at the time. And then I would read I would see on the internet maybe or somewhere like The Help is a racist movie. And I remember actually, because I wasn't like I don't know, like a woke guy at the time or anything. I was just like, how's that racist? Now I look at it and I'm like, it's an extremely racist movie.
Well, the best way to be is always to be a downer, because you'll always be right in the end. I remember Erica took me to see that movie, wanted to see that movie, and I was like, that lady never had a fucking good time. They treated that woman like shit. There was no happy back and forth between these fucking women. Like, white ladies despised The fucking Help.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, you're not being fun. And I'm like, I know, but they try to make it into this fun little, there were some good whites back then, though, that were really cutting it up, and they had hearts of gold. You're one of them.
And I'll say this. Now I'm looking at like dates and shit. The Help came out 2011 when Street Fight came out. So I would have been looking at the internet and seeing why it was racist. But listen to this. The movie before it that led to The Help being made, 2009 movie.
Sandra Bullock?
Yep. The Blind Side.
The Blind Side, yeah.
That movie led to The Help being made, because that movie I think it won an Oscar.
Yeah, people loved it.
And it was like, at that time, it was like, you're allowed to make this movie, and then 2 years later, they were like, no more. Sorry, Danny, what's going on tonight?
Oh, no, it's totally fine. I was just, when you said it came out in 2009, I was like, damn, that was like fucking 13 years ago.
Yeah.
But no, I'm just here in New York right now, and I had a little bit of a commentary on the recent NYPD deaths that happened. That were like quasi national news. I'm sure you guys saw those like pictures on Twitter of them like being kind of shitty and like basically like it being kind of like a swarm of locusts on Fifth Avenue.
Yeah, I saw the
like,
picture.
Rooftop shops.
I saw the picture and I was like, God damn, how many fucking cops are there in New York? Like, did you see the roads?
They have a whole military.
Yeah, it was crazy. There's so many cops. It looked like any protest march.
Yeah, it's about, at any given time, I don't know if it was this much in that march, but there are about 30,000 plus New York City cops. But, and I think if they were a army, they're up there. I can't remember the statistic, but they're like top 10 of like individual armies for sure. And the funny part about that, though, which I think is like a valid point that you kind of brought up, where you're like, damn, that's a lot of cops. I was doing bike messenger work during one of those parades, and I say say that very purposely because there were actually 2 whole parades. So you actually, well, funerals, whatever you want to call it. I've been calling a parade, but like, there was the one that you saw the pictures from, and I wasn't working that day because I think it was a Saturday, and I was like, damn, that's insane, but whatever. But then the next Wednesday, they had the second cops parade, which was kind of wild to me because I was like, wait a minute, they're doing like 2 whole, closures.
2 days.
Of
it's like a fest now.
I mean, and yeah, no, and I really do mean closure because like it was, yeah, dude. I mean, working that day was like absolutely the worst, and I was doing deliveries in the rain, and it sucked, and I was riding up kind of like closer to Radio City Music Hall, which is on around 6th Avenue and like 45th, 50th Street, and all these cop cars are just in the bike lane, which is like whatever, that's par for the course. But I kept seeing all these cop cars not from New York City. Like I saw like Hempstead, New York, and like Rahway, New Jersey, and like fucking like Bloomington, New Jersey, and I saw a cop car from Philadelphia, like parked in the bike lane. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this isn't even all New York City cops. This is just like outer borough people who are basically just like having like a field trip to Times Square, essentially. Like it was basically like if you took Times Square and it supernovaed out like an extra mile, and that is what the city was like that day, where it was so busy and there was so much traffic that it was honestly a little bit difficult to ride around on a bicycle, which is like the advantage of riding a bike in New York City. And
so like the Manhattan amusement park had a cop day, where they only let officers in.
Well, the police spend all their time beating people up for blocking traffic, so they wanted to take a day to block traffic themselves.
Oh, first of all, like, you couldn't have told me that was a funeral, because I did not see one sad face that entire day. It was I'm telling you, it was like when I was in 8th grade and I took a field trip to New York City for the Washington, D.C., like New York City field trip that everybody took at the time, because they were all just in their dress blues, just giggling like idiots. Just like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to go to the Sbarros. Whoa! It was like the dumbest shit I've ever seen. And yeah, they just wreaked havoc all day, just like walking around, getting in the way. And they came from at least as far away as Philadelphia. And that was the second time that they did it. They did it like once on Saturday and once on Wednesday. And like, I mean, talk about like economic, like quote unquote economic, disruption. Like the amount of bullshit that they caused that day, like probably, it stopped like whatever, how many millions of dollars from transacting. Not like I give a shit, but like they're always talking about like, when that ship got caught in the Suez Canal, they're like, every day that this ship is in here, it causes $1 billion to not get transacted. So
I mean,
yeah, it sucked.
Can I say that, like, the reason I would think there weren't a lot of frowns, maybe I'm wrong, maybe this is really insensitive thing to say, but I also, like, don't really care, is that, like, they probably, in their T-Rex brains, think that, like, this is their chance to be liked again. To be like, remember when 9/11 happened, I didn't like the police, but when 9/11 happened, like everybody had to like the police. You weren't allowed to say nothing mean about the police until like 2009 or something like that. And like, maybe in their mind, they just sort of thought like, well, now's the time. If we can make a big scene, then people won't be allowed to be mad at us anymore.
No, it's absolutely what it is. I mean, they're feeling validation by being surrounded by thousands of other people that are willing to do the fucking job. Like they're surrounded by scumbags like them. It's like being at like a fucking Christian camp or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you have these martyrs that died to prove that you're needed, because these people out in Paterson, New Jersey think that there's Uzi gun runners in the streets mowing cops down and shit. You know?
That's also fun, because you do know that the people that show up at these things do think they're going into a war zone, and they're in Times Square.
Every day of my life, I'm going into a war zone out here in Pataskala, Ohio.
Yeah. But didn't you send me a story about even them being crazy?
Who?
Pataskala? You.
No, they're lazy.
Oh,
they're
yeah,
lazy.
They sleeping. But I'm okay with that.
In Pataskala, Ohio, some plowing company had enough of the police and started taking pictures of them sleeping in the car. They're like, we're trying to get this parking lot cleared at the Kroger's. No, and the cops are blocking it. This is what they do with your money. So they take pictures of cops sleeping in their cars.
I don't understand. And listen, I don't want any cops or whatever at all. But I don't understand why they can't just like, I know why, but why can't they just sit at home and then somebody calls them and they go and do what they got to do? Why do they have to go sit in a parking lot and sleep? Like, what does that solve or do at all? I would just think if...
I mean, it's work like... they want you to be working. It's
make
like
work.
You have to be actively working. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think if I was running a utopia with the kind of police that I could be cool with... It would literally...
You already overstepped the boundaries.
Sure. But it would be just people that sit at home all day, and then they'll jump in front of a bullet for you or break up a fight or make sure the fight doesn't go to the death. Uh-huh. You know what I mean?
Sure. They'll referee a fight, too.
Yeah.
They'll stop a fight, they'll referee a fight.
Well, you'll love that. I mean, they do have that kind of weird patronage system does translate into other elements of the New York City like municipal government system. Like, did you guys ever hear about those subway workers who like basically made a little rumpus room down in an abandoned they they got paid like hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they had a mini fridge and like a pull out couch, and it was awesome.
They should.
So, there's plenty of ways. There's plenty of ways to be chill and take money from the system, but all these 30,000-ish people, they just happen to do it in a much more violent and implosive way.
Do you know what nobody ever brings up about that story about the transportation workers that built their own man cave in the subway? Nobody ever brings up maybe take a picture of the break room and then a picture of that room, and I can guarantee their break room is purely a shithole with rats in it, and it's just disgusting. So they were like, "Oh, we can make a better break room," you know?
Yeah.
The workers deserve. First of all, they deserve 2-hour lunches, but they also deserve a fresh break room. I think
For sure.
why not? Have some Legos in there. Have some TVs. Have all that stuff.
Have you seen the pizza place that was asking people to sign away their breaks?
No.
You haven't
don't
seen
say
that?
No. Nobody sent it to me.
Domino's somewhere? Really? You didn't see
wreck
that?
them. I will wreck them.
They're saying it is required by law, but you can sign this piece of paper and you don't have to follow the law no more.
Oh,
ain't nobody gonna tell me how to live. Pizza version.
Oh, god damn it, dude. This idea of you shouldn't be allowed to have a break is what is a 15-minute break doing? That's so goddamn bad, you know? But yeah, I think break rooms could totally be better, I believe. So they deserve that. I don't think the cops deserve anything, but yeah.
The cops deserve to not be alive.
Yes, that's a good way to say it. Yes.
We don't need that. You're right. I mean, we need people to clean up dead bodies. We need someone to hold on to someone having an episode until they chill out. Mm-hmm. We need ambulances for heart attacks. We don't need police.
Yep. That's what I think.
Nobody it's just obvious. It's a psychotic cult, but they're in charge, and they will definitely kill you. And again, they have all the power.
Let me say this, and again, they don't need to always be working. That is the fucking thing. Is they're always working, and that's why there's always a problem with the police, other than the racism and all that stuff. But like, they have to have something to do. So they have to be on the clock. So they have to be annoying people. If you go to the grocery store, the cop that's doing like special duty, that guy always seems like not as annoying as they are when they're not doing special duty, where they're just, and I always think about it like this. I'm like, when the cops work at a grocery store, they have to be nice to you and shit, because the grocery store doesn't want a cop being in there being mean to the customers, you know?
Go beat their ass outside.
Yeah. They should have to be on grocery store behavior all the time.
Okay.
We do have like special cops like that here as well. Like, not necessarily for grocery stores, but like there's a high-end camera store you may have heard of called B&H that's centered in New York City. And if you ever visit here again, you got to go to it. It's basically like a giant Rube Goldberg device. But there's a guy who basically, there's just always a New York City police officer standing in there, because it's like, it's one of those things where they're like, you will not steal this 5500 Sony A7S camera. So like, we have that here, but just in different ways.
They make like $90 an hour to do what's called special duty here at night. And like, you go into the fucking store and they're like, hey buddy, how you doing? Or hey, we're closing it. They act like any of the other employees at the store.
They're working there, yeah.
They don't like yell at people.
Hey, they're about to start washing up around here in about 10 minutes now.
They don't chase people around. They don't
give your kid a sticker.
Yeah, and if you do get caught stealing, they just take you in the back room or whatever. It's
rough you up.
No, they just do what they do. Anytime they regularly catch you stealing, where it's like they go in there and say, don't come in the store no more, or call the police, we're going to take you away.
We took your picture.
And like, I think that there is a world where we can have people who are very nice all the time and also aren't at work and can't bust you for speeding, because that's another thing. We got to get rid of this speeding.
I know. I got to deliver this food to DoorDash.
I know.
If you want your food there on time, you got to get rid of these speed limits. We got to get these cops off the road.
Moloch Frolic says, we could kill you. Enjoy your shopping.
We could kill you.
Yeah, well, I mean, we do have a gun and we could kill you.
Yeah, I would also say, this is a little bit different, but I know you've, actually it is a completely different subject, but I would say recently I have also been on my my eBay game. And I know you've done that in the past as well, Brett. And I have to say, I was out of the game for a little while, but I've been going on these estate sale auction sites. Yeah. And I feel there's some real cherry stuff out there right now. It's It's a real fun world out there. If you're trying to buy like a 1950 GE wall clock and like resell it for like $150.
Yeah, all the old people are dying from coronavirus right now. So all of their cool shit that we always wanted, all of our grandparents' stuff, we can now get their old Pyrex at a premium.
Really? So eBay is big now?
Collectibles are up, and all of that stuff. I mean, I've seen TikToks about it too. People that are into very weird specific genres, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh! And since March 2020. There's been a lot more of uranium glass has made it to the thrift store than before, you know.
Well, guess what? Guess who's
more vintage gowns?
Guess who just went on eBay and typed Lego in the search?
You can get bootleg Legos on there. You can get the cheap ones. Get bootlegos.
I'm worried about the instruction manual on the bootleg Legos.
Bootlegos.
My worry. Bootlegos. I'm worried about the instruction manual.
Wish.com has bootlegos too.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, learn Mandarin though. That's kind of a good. That's like a good skill. John Cena can do it.
I know he did. He can also play piano. I learned this week.
Jesus.
Played Home Sweet Home at the end of Peacemaker.
What a fucking class act.
I was fucking annoyed that I was like, he's really playing Home Sweet Home, because they zoomed out and you could see him actually playing the goddamn song. I was so mad at him. I'm just like, you're ripped. you are this TV show that he's doing, The Peacemaker, is genuinely very funny and good.
No one can see you.
No one can. You can wrestle.
Yeah.
And you can speak Mandarin.
Brian, he apologized. He apologized too.
Yeah. Oh. Who can I have a Cena apology?
His China apology.
Yeah. I got to do that.
He's semi-fluent in Mandarin.
I love this apology show. I think I could just turn the whole thing into the apology / Shocktober Patreon.
I mean, it is honestly, as somebody that's done dating over the last year, the apology is like just as much of a part of life as like sex is. You know, apologizing is something you do. Honestly, I mean, I do one every day, I feel like.
I do too.
I just apologize for being in the grocery store at the wrong time. You know, like if I'm in the bread aisle and you were trying to like take your time and look, but now I'm causing you pressure, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I wasn't watching you pick, but I kind of wanted to see what your thought process was.
I did just send my brother an apology because I went to his birthday dinner. I was having an anxiety attack.
Okay.
And I was like, I hope I didn't ruin your birthday dinner, brother. But I was having a little panic attack, and when you go to a steakhouse, that's going to cause me to have even more of a panic attack because everything's expensive. You don't think about how expensive a steakhouse is, my dude.
It's literally for men to show off how much money they have.
When you fucking
it's
see
stupid
that the one piece of your meal is $55, that'll send you way down a road, especially when you just
get apps too.
Capriciously spent $69 on a Lego ship in a bottle.
That's true. Is that the steak or the ship or the bottle? Which would you rather have?
Ship in a bottle.
Yeah.
I'll go home and fucking eat Jell-O all night if I can have the ship in the bottle.
Popcorn and Jell-O.
Which I have.
Excuse me, pardon me. Yeah, I would just say to any of the people out there buying and selling antiques and what have you, friendly reminder to buy lead tests. Because let me tell you, I've been touching a lot of old things, and the more I look at them, I'm just like, you know what? This probably has lead paint on it, and I should figure that out. Because you know, they were not testing for those things back then.
True. Yeah, that is. Yeah. But I mean, if you're making good money off of it, I'm looking at Legos on eBay and they cost the same as the damn store.
What would you think it would be?
I thought they'd be cheaper.
You gotta look for used Legos.
Because they're used.
A Ziploc bag full of Legos?
No, I need the box because I need the instructions.
No, stop. You will be fine with a Ziploc bag and with the instructions in it. A few gallon Ziploc bags with the instructions tucked in. Adult owned, smoke free home. That's perfectly fine.
Adult owned, smoke free home.
No, the rule of thumb when it comes to buying and selling anything like that, especially something like Legos, is if you're looking on eBay or Craigslist or anything like that, you've already lost. The only way to find things actually cheap is if you go to an estate sale where somebody hasn't had like the prying eyes of the internet basically on it.
Yeah, because like the thrift store never
just trying to make a profit.
Thrift store Legos is a great band name, but a bad idea.
And I never find anything at the thrift store. I found one thing that I liked at a thrift store, and that was the Dr. Laura board game because that's a crazy thing to own. But like
thrift store's the bomb.
I never found anything at the thrift store.
You're
it's all like a lot of
You're
stuff that
you shop on eBay. We shop at estate sales.
I've never. First of all, I've never been to an estate sale, but I will go to one. How many fucking old people are dying and leaving their Legos?
A lot right now.
With Legos? They're old Lego guys?
You're going to go dig for Legos, I guess, yeah.
Guys,
you got to go garage sailing. You got to wake up at 6 a.m. on a fucking Friday and hit up them garage saleys when they first get set up in the morning.
Yeah.
But you don't do freestyle Legos. You should do freestyle. You should do art. You should do like outsider art shit.
I don't know like what you would even do freestyle Legos. I don't even know how that works.
Fucking desires. You can just put them together. You literally just follow the thread of thought.
I don't know about that.
They just keep building upon the last brick.
I don't know. Maybe once I get better at Legos, like when I buy the globe, which is my next big one. The Lego
Why?
globe.
That seems not like a good idea.
It's like
that seems
3,000 pieces,
you can
dude.
do better than that. Globes are a lie. Globes are a little
What about the Death
presumptuous.
Star? That's like a huge one.
Yeah, but I don't have $700. You know, the Lego globe is
Build
like
the cars,
$279. I
the
am.
Bugatti and shit.
I'm
There's-
building one of the cars, but like I want that new. I sound like such a dork. They have a They actually have a Lego. Fuck, what is the
Lego My Ego?
They have a Lego Volkswagen bus
Oh god.
that I want to get.
It has a little daisy that sits in the holder next to the steering wheel.
Yeah, and they have a Lego a Lamborghini, but it's like $279.
Yeah.
But it looks fresh.
You dropped 360. You dropped 338. So
On 3 Lego kits though. You know?
you got to find. Yeah, you got to find a better way.
Yeah, the globe is $264.99.
Wish.com Lego. Big
And
Lego.
I'll never have that much money to spend on a Lego globe.
Save up.
But it does have 21,300. Oh no, 2,585 pieces, which is a good amount. Because the one I'm working on now has like a little over 1,000. It's taken me like 3-4 days.
Okay.
I can't believe I'm playing with Legos.
They're fun. People like them. I mean, people are obsessed with them.
I believe me. I know.
You need to get a room in the house that just has storage bins that you put all your blocks by color and shape, like little tackle boxes and shit.
Yeah.
You have 0 tools at your house, but you have a Lego shape for any situation.
Yeah. I mean, I can make Lego furniture.
There you go.
Once I get
Now
real
we're talking.
Legoland. I want to go to Legoland. Somebody asked me in the chat when I'm going to Legoland.
We can go. It's in town.
And that's in either Florida or California because I want to
got
stay
Lego-
at the resort.
Oh yeah, that looks fun as fuck. Ryan went. Charlotte showed me. She always just showed me that Ryan's Adventure bullshit, and she showed me Legoland one time, and I was like, maybe we'll do that one.
Yeah, I got to make a pilgrimage to my home country.
Yeah.
Legoland.
There's also one at the mall. We can go start at the mall, dude.
Yeah, I'll
Wanna
go
with
to the
Charlotte.
mall. Yeah,
We
I'll
can
go to the
just
mall and get
use
some
Charlotte
Legos.
as an excuse.
Yeah,
You're
well,
gonna say, "Oh, it's my grandbaby. She's crazy about these things."
Yeah,
she
and-
wants the VW bus.
Yeah, she wants this fucking what's that Senna?
Yes.
That McLaren Senna car,
right.
which is the next one I might buy because it's a little cheaper.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's not a high price.
No,
Ew.
you got to buy it.
I can't believe I'm just remembering this, Brian. But I actually, my friend's friend, his official job title was like one of the like 26 Lego inventioneers or whatever, or the people who make the actual designs for them.
Cool.
I'm into that. But here's the thing: while me and Brett were off for a month, this is really embarrassing and weird, especially in light of my Lego obsession now. When we were off, I got really, really, really obsessed with like Disney stuff, like theme park stuff. Yeah, I didn't want to tell anybody about it.
For what reason?
I have a weird like relationship with like theme parks because like I'm afraid of all the rides, but I'm obsessed with all the rides.
The imagination.
Yeah, and so I watched a lot of documentaries about the Imagineers and about Disney World and about Disneyland and about Walt Disney and about Cedar Point and then about like just all the theme parks. I watched every episode of this thing called Defunct Land, which is just about old rides.
Oh man. This show, you imagine the police being good, and you came out as adult Disney.
I'm not an adult Disney fan. I'm never going to Disney World. I just saw the Disney. Basically, I watched
Mickey had.
I watched everything on YouTube about Disney.
For what reason?
I don't know.
What about Cedar Point? What about some
I did.
Pride?
They don't make documentaries about Cedar Point like they do
everything.
Disney. There's only
nobody's
like one
head
or
is
two.
frozen underneath Cedar Point.
Yeah, there's only like 1 or 2 Cedar Point things, and all of them are about. All the Cedar Point things are about. This disaster transport, which was a roller coaster here that like is gone now. That was like it was a roller coaster I rode, so it's not good.
Yeah, I remember it.
It's like gone now, but it was a super themed like roller coaster. And then the Kings Island one, all of them are about Tomb Raider the ride, which I actually rode that too and cursed out all the people that I was with in front of a bunch of children because it was one of the most scary experiences of my life, and they told me it wasn't scary. So
Did it gaslight you?
So now, if I do go to Legoland, here's the problem with Legoland now. Now that somebody's asked this, it's a roller coaster place, and I'm afraid of roller coasters. So I don't even know what I would do there. If it was a
You
place
can gaze upon them.
That's true.
You can imagine the excitement.
If it was a place you could go to and build Lego stuff all day, I would do that. I would love that.
That's just like a club at your local library. You don't have to go to California to do that.
Brian, you should come to New York and come down to Coney Island and ride the thing that we have here. It's like it's an incredibly dangerous small roller coaster.
That's my thing.
I'm scared of those too, though. That's the fucking thing, man. Like I am really, really, really afraid of rides.
Really? That's so surprising about you.
Really?
No.
I was gonna say.
Hell no.
I would think
It's
people would
obvious.
think I was like a thrill guy, like a thrill ride guy.
Yeah.
I'm not. I am scared shitless of them. So I've been on like 4 roller coasters in my life, and every single one of them I cried. And I was like older than crying aged.
Do they use those like rubbery ass Lego wheels like on their stuff, on their rides?
They should
That
use.
rubber, I
I'm
love
looking
that
at the hotel rooms right now. They have Ninjago rooms.
Fun.
I think
The one that I saw was like they had like an indoor pool that was filled with Lego blocks
Oh,
and like floaties and shit.
well, they have adventure rooms, pirate rooms, kingdom rooms, and Ninjago. So it looks like I'd probably be in the Ninjago room.
Okay.
'Cause
You're
I don't-
a Ninjago lifestyle, huh?
Well, I like ninjas.
Okay. But not kingdoms?
No,
No.
it's like Game of Thrones kingdoms.
Oh no, I was thinking Animal Kingdom.
Nope. And pirates, too
Suck.
Reddit for me.
Horrible.
Just
Never
too
been
Reddit.
good.
Yeah.
Just blot them out from history.
Adventure rooms is like, maybe I'm into that because when I was a kid, I was like really into the idea that I would end up being like an Indiana Jones.
Yeah, common.
Yeah, but Ninjago is.
Ninjago's the way to go.
Yeah, I mean,
you gotta
you're looking
study
at
the
those
blade.
four.
You gotta study the Ninjago blade.
I'm also a guy that likes knives and stuff. So.
I actually cut my teeth on eBay. Ninjago came out when I worked at a toy store, so I would get like all of them and buy them early in the morning and then list them on eBay for a few times the price.
Yeah. Okay, so they do the room in your room. You have Legos too, so that's all.
That's nice.
Yeah.
You get to sleep. You open up the desk drawer. There's a Lego Bible in there and a bunch of loose pieces. You can just start building like God's kingdom on top of it.
Oh, dude, you can. You also get the Legoland Times newspaper.
Is it made of? I mean, is there food made out of blocks? I mean, can I get waffles that like are shaped like Lego bricks and build like a waffle tower?
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm looking at these rooms, and I don't know. They look like small, very small hotel rooms. Actually, the pirate rooms
Are they all
look like
that
a
plastic though? Because it might be
kid's room.
easy to wipe down. They might not stain or anything. You can just spray it down with the hose. It's all Lego plastic, just molded.
It's like a Honda Element.
Yes, yeah. You can do whatever the fuck you want in there. It's just Lego brick.
Yeah. Well, Danny, thanks for calling. It's good to hear from you.
Oh yeah.
And enjoy the rest of your
great.
evening.
All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Peace. That was a good call. Long call.
They got
We just-
Lego
It was
boats.
a good call because they let us talk all over him.
That Danny's great. He
Yeah.
always does.
What
he
a
always
pal.
does.
Great pal.
Yeah, there's I don't know. Maybe I'm not like into going to Legoland. It looks really, really, really low rent.
It's for kids.
Yeah. It's like super for kids. Like then it's embarrassing if I'm there being like, "Oh my god, look at all the Legos."
Yeah. You have a 5,000 piece set? Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
Where are the Techniques or the Creator
Yeah.
imprints? That's the ones I'm into.
Oh, can I tell you a story?
Yeah.
I had some winter PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
So Rachel works for a distribution center, And on Thursday, when the big snowstorm was coming through, she works from 11 to 3, or 11 to 8, sorry, which I have to tell you is the worst shift ever. I know you're a big proponent of it, but it's the worst because you can't go to concerts.
You can.
You show up, you can't see the openers of a concert, and you're in a rush, and you don't get to eat after work. Mm-hmm. You have to go straight to the show to get and just live off cocktails.
That's how I live, though.
That is true, yeah, and I did the same thing at that age. But so she works at a warehouse. She drives all the way to the warehouse. The news has been talking about snow all goddamn day long, right? We all know it's bad. As soon as she gets there, she said that everybody's walking out, and someone said, "Hey, you're going the wrong way," which did make me remember how awesome that feeling was.
Getting a day off?
Yeah, when you're walking into work and everybody's like, hey, you're going the wrong way, man. And you're like, what's going on? And they're like, they said we don't have to come in. It's like, but we drove all the way here. Why did we come all the way here and do stretches for 5 minutes? And then you said, actually, we're going home because the weather's bad. We all fucking knew that. And at this point, we all have text messages and Slacks and Teams and everything. Why the fuck did you make us come in? Right?
Yes. Yeah.
So it snows from Thursday night as she's driving home. It's horrible. Until the next day. It goes until 2 the next day. She wakes up in the morning at like 9 and is like, I have to get ready for work. And I'm like, you're not going to work. Are you fucking kidding me? And they're like, they haven't canceled it. They didn't call off work on Friday. Yeah. There was no snow on Thursday. It snowed. We got inches and inches of it. They didn't call it off. She calls her employee line. And they said, first shift is off. You don't have to work. Second and third shift, or the home office is closed until noon, and we'll update this at 11:30. So basically, she had to be at work at noon, or she had to find out between 11:30 and noon, like whether she had to work at noon.
Yeah, that sucks. I hate that shit.
And so I was like, they're gonna make you come in. You shouldn't go in. You shouldn't go in. She was worried about it, which makes sense. I would be too.
Good job at a distribution center is a pretty. Good
yes,
job.
Yeah. And so eventually she's like, I'm not going to do it. She shows me text message from people at work that are like, I need the fucking money, which is like, if they're going to let me work, I'll risk my goddamn life because I need fucking $100 today. I get it.
Yeah.
So they announced that second shift is happening. And then at 12:45, they announced that it's shut down again.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like they kicked the fucking can. They want to see who shows up, but they also kicked the can. It was like, nobody's made an announcement of what's happening at noon, and nobody did, and it took until like 12:44 for someone to say like, it looks like we're not working today. Like I wanted someone. It's so aggravating.
Oh yeah, I used to have that a lot too. It fucking sucks.
And the roads were legitimately fucking horrible, and you don't want to risk. You're risking your life, but you need money for the day. Yeah, you're like, if they'll fucking let me, I'll stand around and do it. FedEx isn't running. Nothing's fucking happening. I drove past, on Friday, H&R Block. And I saw 3 motherfuckers sitting there with their hands in their heads. Yeah. Like, just wait. Nobody was going to get their fucking taxes done. They were required to be there. And they're just sitting, warming up a fucking chair all day long while, like, torrential weather builds outside. Yeah. It's fucking awful. Yeah, it's so stupid.
I used to have that at the cable company. They always expected you to be there because if people's cable goes out, they got to get it fixed. Yeah. But sometimes, basically my method, but this is, a place I worked at for 7 years and had been there for a pretty long time. I didn't do this like the first 2 or 3 years I worked there, was just to call them and be like, I can't get my car out. I can't come in today. Because I knew it was just going to be a hassle. Yeah. But...
Their attitude is just so fucking awful about it because it's never like they can treat you as people and say, hey, you know what? It did fucking snow 6 inches overnight. We're not going to work today. I think it's best. No one's saving lives here. I think it's best if we all stayed home. They're like, at 12:44, they're like, I guess you get it off. Yeah. That's how they act about it.
Yeah, they're like frustrated.
It's the fucking weather. Yeah. What are we supposed to do about this?
Yeah, they're just frustrated.
Why does it matter if a fucking... POS systems get sent out, or if a fucking box of cargo shorts makes it. Yeah. None of it's irrelevant to me having to fucking be there.
Yeah, I know. It was the same way everywhere I've worked. It's been like, wait till 1 minute before I'm supposed to be at work. And
they're like, show up and we'll tell you to your face. You don't have to come in. If you're willing to drive all the way to here, then we'll say you can go home. Other than that, it's an occurrence, you know?
Yeah, for sure. For sure, yeah. You just get it, you know? Get the occurrence. I'm fine with that.
All right. Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Hey, this is Lucas from Connecticut. How's it going?
Great. How are you, Lucas?
Doing well.
I'm doing well. So you guys were talking about Milli Vanilli on your I'm Sorry podcast.
Yeah.
That event where they were busted lip syncing, by the way, awesome podcast. Thoroughly enjoyed it. But that incident took place at Lake Compounds. And I was a job coach for a dude with developmental disabilities who worked at Lake Compounds for a whole summer.
Okay. What, the place where the concert happened?
Yeah, like where they were busted lip syncing and it started repeating the one line over and over again.
They blew it.
It was at Lake Compound.
A charity
Lake Compound
thing?
blew it. Yeah, they blew it. No, I think what happened was like it was a CD. But my understanding is that it was a CD they were using.
Right.
I don't understand. Can I ask this question then? Why couldn't they just say they could have just said like we lip sync in concert. Everybody does that shit. Instead of saying somebody had to like just flip immediately. Like they had the thing skip and then a guy got on the phone and was like, I'm fucking sorry, man. They lip synced the whole thing.
Yeah, that's true.
But like nobody at the event was bothered by it. They like fixed the audio equipment, had finished the concert relatively without incident. The night wrapped up, everything was cool.
Yeah.
And then the media took it and like covered up whatever was actually happening with that sensational story.
I agree too. It's like I can't imagine if I was in like I don't know. If I'm a fan of something, I don't really care how it's made. You know? Like that's the thing that strikes me as very weird about it. And there was a lot of this going on back in the 90s and shit like that in 2000s where it's like, you know, you're a fan of this thing. You really enjoy this thing. You go to the concert, you see the fucking thing. You saw what you wanted. You saw Blame It on the Rain. And you saw Rob and Fab dancing. And it was a whole vibe. Mm-hmm. So what's the problem with it? That's what I'm trying to say. Because I've said this before.
You're saying they shouldn't have said I'm sorry.
No. And I said this once before, okay? I would go to like a Chuck E. Cheese with a Peter Steele animatronic and like a typo negative animatronics that's turned up as loud as a regular concert. I would go to that and I would go fucking bonkers and I would pay $100 to go see it. You know, which is probably in equivalent times to Milli Vanilli. Those tickets were probably $35, which was basically $100 back then. Mm. I don't care. I don't fucking care.
I don't. It's hard to say.
You care. So do you care if you found out that a band that you love right now, you got to think of the band you love the most right now, or think of like a rapper you've been listening to since you were younger, just something that you have a real emotional connection to, and you find out they're lip syncing or they didn't make the music. Is that going to make you mad?
Yeah, it makes me think about that person differently. To be
true. I mean, that's a good point. Yeah,
but I don't know. But it's also like it was brought up, like MF Doom. I think that's funny.
I agree.
But hip hop is a different thing because I also prefer lip syncing with hip hop.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of rap acts where they scream their fucking voice to shreds and you can't understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
I would rather just play the CD out loud while you like navigate the crowd, you know?
Yeah, I just don't know, like, I don't know where the line is.
Would I pay to have a CD played in front of me with the guys that I like doing the dance? Yes, I would. I mean, Milli Vanilli, if that's the experience, I just want to see the guys in the fucking bike shorts and the leather jackets.
Yeah.
Pump the air.
Yeah. But back then, and I bet you, like, is it Kyle? I'm sorry. Lucas. Like Lucas said, everybody left that show and didn't fucking care.
Yeah, it doesn't,
just, CD skipped.
Yeah, I get it.
It's just very weird to me.
But Lake Compound. they've got like a history of not doing so well with music acts. There's like a billboard of like fun facts as you're walking through the park, and Guns N' Roses was supposed to play a concert there in like '94 to like a sold out crowd, but the band never showed up. Is how the billboard phrases it. And I was like, that sounds a little bit like Axl Rose. Let me look into this. Turns out they had previously played at Hershey Park, which was owned by the same company, and they never got paid. And then they were like scheduled to play a second show at the lake, and they were like, "Fuck you! You didn't pay us. We're not doing it." So
wow,
I'm kind of on board with that, blowing that off. That's kind of badass.
That's kind of interesting. I'll tell you. That,
wow, they put that out there like that. Weird.
Yeah, because I went to a concert where there was a riot. Obvious. I think I probably told the story. Not that concert, not Woodstock '99. Yes, I did go to that, but I went to a local show here in Columbus that ended in a riot. It was Ozfest '97.
That's not local.
Well, yeah, but it was in town. It was in Columbus, and Ozzy did not show up. They didn't announce that Ozzy wasn't going to show up until they didn't announce it at all. They didn't put signs up that Ozzy wasn't going to be there. And they had the first clue that I got that he wasn't going to be there was that they had, I don't remember. I think they had Marilyn Manson out there with like some people from Pantera and some people from other bands singing Crazy Train. And I was like, isn't Ozzy going to sing this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then they like had all these different groups of like mixed up musicians and different bands come out and do these like really neat cover versions of Ozzy and Black Sabbath songs. But people started throwing stuff at them, and booing, because they figured it out once. They played 4 or 5.
Yeah. This is what we're getting for our Black Sabbath set.
Yeah, but it was fresher than Black Sabbath, dude. It's like hearing Phil Anselmo sing Black Sabbath songs or hearing Peter Steele sing War Pigs and shit like that. It's cool.
Yeah, it would be definitely like for nerds, something to go back in time. But I would take that over an old Ozzy set.
Yeah, people were so hot under the collar, and they were throwing stuff, and Phil Anselmo was on stage, and he was like, "Okay, Ozzy ain't coming. Stop throwing stuff." And then 2 seconds later, he's like, "Fuck this shit. We're out of here," and just threw the mic down and fucking left. And he didn't give him a chance to win you over. Oh, no.
He was just like, shape up right now. All right, fuck y'all.
Yeah. And I saw the fence going boom, 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 like back and forth. And people were just walking through the fence. They were flipping cars. They were lighting fires, breaking windows. The police helicopters flying around over the festival. And there had already been a bomb threat. Because it was Marilyn Manson was playing that year, and Christians were going nuts, and they phoned in a bomb threat, and had a plane fly around and said, "Jesus love you," and you're sitting in the park. We were just sitting in a parking lot. I fucking saw the police handcuff a guy to a tree. They were like, "Stay here," and they knew he wasn't going to stay there, so they handcuffed him to a tree, and then we tried to help him get off of it, but couldn't break the tree or whatever. But like, I saw that happen and was like, man, all they had to do was say earlier in the day that Ozzy isn't going to be here. And none of this would have happened. I don't think,
Yeah, they could have let you know.
Yeah. I think basically what happens at these venues is if a sudden thing happens, it's going to lead to some fucking crazy stuff. That is how this stuff works. It's kind of like...
But it didn't for them. Not for Milli Vanilli.
Not for Milli Vanilli. Well, it did, actually.
No, it didn't.
To them
not
being
at the time.
On the news. They were fucking on the news. They had to give back their Grammys and shit.
No, that's not the same.
That is crazy. Why do they have signs in there of shows that canceled on them?
Well, it doesn't say why the show didn't happen.
It's just
the
cool
billboard kind of leaves it kind of implying that it was just Guns N' Roses flaking on a contract, neglecting to mention that they owed them money.
That's kind of wild, though. Me and Brett should do that at like a venue or something. If they don't pay us right away, we just fucking leave a sign that says Street Fight performed here and didn't get paid for it.
Yeah.
That's wild. That is wild. Yeah, and Guns N' Roses had that rep too. So, They had the
Yeah,
record.
I mean,
Yeah,
they-
but
they earned
it is
They
funny. I know they use that against them basically. They're like, no one's gonna look this up.
Yeah.
They're just gonna assume it's
Lucas.
Axl Rose bullshit.
Well, thanks for calling, Lucas.
Well, thanks for taking it. Thanks for doing the mini-series, and have a great night.
Oh,
Peace.
you're welcome. Just apologize and apologize. People love. I'm sorry. They love hearing apologies. Can't get enough of
It's
them.
nice.
It's fun. It's a weird idea, and the apologies are all like. When I played Paula Dean's apology this week,
Oh God.
I really enjoy that one because she says, "I am not racist." It's like, I don't know though. You kind of came off as because there was a wrestler this week that got in trouble for anti-Semitism. This week, he was a Holocaust denier,
Okay. Yeah.
and there's audio of him denying the Holocaust.
Sure. So
and,
yeah.
and articles of interviews, and
Okay.
when he apologized, what pissed me off, what bugged me about his apology was, I never believed in these things. I was just saying them, and I was just like, even if you, it just feels like people want to hear. I'm sorry, I believe these things. I did research, and I don't believe these things. I think people want you to admit that you did something.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, that is getting out of doing anything wrong. It's like I didn't actually do anything wrong.
Yeah.
It's what you're trying to say. You're coming around trying to figure out how to make it sound like you never did anything.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's a shitty apology because it's not that hard to be like, I had some really bad opinions.
Yeah.
Earlier in my life. He was 32 when he had these opinions, so but I had really bad opinions. I said some horrible things, and I apologize for that, and I was just a dumb kid.
Yeah.
Is
No,
the
32 is not a kid, but
people ain't gonna. But I mean, like from the beginning of this show, me and you have talked about like sort of an evolution of
sure.
yourself, where it's like I was like you weren't. I was at the bottom of like all the problematic stuff and worked my way out of it. So let's take another call.
All right. Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Hey, hello, is it me?
You would know.
Sounds like it's me. Sorry to bug you guys tonight, but I love you, and
going?
I haven't called in a little while,
Who are
so
we talking to?
I figured I'd check out. I got so fucked up on acid last
Who is?
weekend
Wait, hold on. Who is this?
that I. Oh, this is Gavin from Nebraska.
Gotcha. Thank you.
I'm the really drunk guy that used to call in a lot more frequently,
Okay.
but
Glad to
I
have you back.
made sure not to get really drunk tonight to call in
Smart move.
and try to be coherent. But no,
You're doing great. So what happened?
So I was supposed to get acid on Friday, and I didn't. And then I was like, okay, it's just a bad lead, no problem. They show up on Sunday, and I take one. I've only tripped twice, so give me a little bit of courtesy on that.
Yeah, you're still got training wheels.
So I got railed off my ass. My roommate did the same acid as me, and she did half as much, and like panic called her boyfriend.
Oh no.
So, well, he's a cool guy. They were very cool to me when I was like, this is too high to be high.
Yeah.
And previously, I'd done like 6 tabs of acid and just had a really great day. But this showed up at like 6 p.m. on a Sunday. And I was like, yeah, I'm still going to take it. But it just rocked my shit.
Put a pin. Sorry, I appreciate that. Put a pin in it. Brian locked himself out of the studio. I have to go let him in real quick. He had to use the restroom.
Oh,
Tried to make this into like a nonchalant. I'm gonna go
It's
sneak out real quick, and now it's stopping the show. Give me a second. Oh, can you vamp for me? Can you just say some stuff? Can you plug the Patreon for me?
Yeah. I'll risk. Hey, how's everybody doing? I hope you're having a great night. Y'all are cool dudes. Thanks for listening to Street Fight. Street Fight is pretty cool. I've been listening to him for like 2
All right,
years
we're
now.
both here now.
Okay, I only said good things.
Well, I appreciate it.
I
You're
did
allowed
not
to
say
say bad
good.
things.
So to catch you up, Gavin.
Give me 1 second to get off speakerphone.
Gavin took too much acid at 6 p.m. on a Sunday night.
Tonight?
Is it tonight? Are you on a wait?
Yeah, and I'd also drank a lot of booze.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, you gotta do that.
They go well together.
Yeah, no, that's my normal day. But it was too much for acid. So, this acid rolls in, I take it. I'm having a really good time for a couple hours. Totally freak out after I take a nap, and I had to be nursed back together with my roommate and her friend, her boyfriend.
How'd it work out? I mean, how'd they get you cooled down?
That's a unique bonding experience, and it does make you feel loved in a special way. It builds a special bond with somebody.
It does. Yeah, no, it wasn't good by any means, but they were very nice to me.
Yes, that counts.
But I figured that was a street fight where the experience to share to everybody, like you should do the second dip at acid.
And
I don't know if I'm sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt, but I did do like 6 tabs the first time I did it. This guy told me this was a lot harder acid, so I did 1 tab, and he was like, "It's double dipped," and I'm like,
I
cool,
don't think that
know what
happens,
that
though.
means.
No, that's like when your weed guy says this is the best shit I've ever had.
One of the earlier lessons I learned about acid, and this could be full bullshit, full on dumb lying bullshit, but like is that you can't double dip, because when you dip the first time, the paper like soaks it in, and then when you dip the second time, it just beads off and falls off, like you put Rain-X on that shit.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just
that totally makes sense.
It's sales terms, family fluff, any of it. Yeah. Well,
it just might have been a different material, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, 6 for a first time is that's
acid
pretty
is
intense.
acid, but acid is acid, and like close.
Damn. Well, you took 6 hits.
You're just getting confused now.
6 on Sunday. 6 on
But I did
Sunday.
it over the course of a day.
Okay.
6 the first time.
It sounds like
one just fucked me up.
Yeah, it'll
it's
do
like
that.
You got to inspect what's going on in the inside of your mind. I mean, turning people onto psychedelics. If your house isn't in order, it will do it for you, and sometimes that is helpful. I mean, you know, the shit that rocks your world is maybe something.
No, I had a great
with.
time. I'm not lying to you. I had a great time.
Well, that's great, Gavin.
While I was in that state, I was real fucked up.
Well, we're glad to hear that you're doing better.
Yeah.
And
keep
up the good work.
No long-standing symptoms. It was just fucking crazy compared to what I took before.
Yeah. Well, it'll do that sometimes. It just be hitting different.
Yeah.
So
you got to be ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't just treat it like something to do on a Sunday afternoon.
Especially you got to work tomorrow.
Regulate.
Do you have to work tomorrow?
Oh, no, this was last weekend, so I'm good.
Oh, okay.
This
Good.
weekend,
Yeah.
And I do have to work tomorrow. No, and it just railed me last weekend.
Yeah, that's enough. I'm done with it. It's so confused and so fucked
I mean,
from
I
the
shouldn't have
beginning.
gone to pee,
That's just
but
clusterfuck. The whole thing was just never going to get back on track.
No, we're never getting there.
Gavin, good luck. I guess I don't know. It's not a street fight story to say you had a bad time on drugs. Like I only report the good times I have on drugs.
I've reported some of the bad times.
I'm not a bad trip guy. I'm more about informative trips, I guess. That's
Yeah.
what I call them.
Can I just say something real quick?
Get off your chest.
Legoland looks like shit.
Oh, gosh.
If I'm gonna tell you the
Legoland?
fucking truth. Yeah, I'm looking
The
at
park?
Yeah, the park.
How much is like a
in
weekend going to cost
California.
What do they want?
169 including the hotel. That's what I'm trying to
$169
say.
a night?
For the tickets and the hotel.
What? That's a steal.
That's what I'm saying. It actually doesn't.
That's jank.
Yes.
$169. That's you paid twice that amount for Lego sets
To play with Legos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could pay half the price of Legos to stay for the night and get admission.
You can stay in the hotel for $160 per person. Okay, that's a.
Oh, there you no. Never mind then.
It would be
Never mind.
$310 for
No.
like if we went or $320 or something like that.
$480.
$480 if we. I mean, but me and you could go on tour and go.
Oh,
to
me and
Legoland.
you want to go?
Yeah.
You just for me and you?
Yeah, we'll go on tour. We'll go out to California. We do a Los Angeles show, and then
My kid
we
would-
hop over to Carlsbad.
No, my kid. My kid is like 19 years old. She would be like, post a TikTok and say, I told my fucking father I wanted to go to Legoland more than anything, and here's pictures of him and his podcast partner, and it's just kicking back with like margaritas and shit,
Playing Lego.
playing Legos in the bedroom. With her.
True.
Yeah, and then she didn't get to go.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I mean,
Selfish
my
dad.
daughter would never say anything, but
She would want to go. She would not want. She would pretend like she doesn't want to, but she would like it.
she doesn't ever want to do anything, dude.
I know, but till you drag her there.
Yeah, I tried to go see Jackass this weekend. Nope.
Oh, that's
She's
bad.
like, I haven't seen the other ones, and I'm like,
It's not a. There's no narrative.
yeah,
There's no narrative.
yeah. What are you doing?
It's stunts.
You're
It's just
17.
bottle rockets and buttholes.
Yeah, you're 17. You have to watch Jackass.
Yeah, you're right. Especially if you're trying to do this '90s ass kid thing, you can't like idolize back then without like. You gotta do the shit. It's here.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a new Limp Bizkit out. You listen to it. There's a new Jackass. Watch
New
it.
Corn too. New Corn.
Oh, the new Corn is good.
You like it?
I like that song.
No, the album's out.
Oh, the album. I've only heard the single.
I didn't like the single. Found it to be a little boring. The album is a lot less heavy than the Nothing. And
Yeah.
that it's more of a melodic sort of thing.
Yeah, I
as
like
far
that
as
stuff.
Corn goes. So I'm gonna have to give it a few more listens.
They don't sound like themselves anymore though, because when that song came on, I was like, "What is this?"
I found it boring.
It sounds. I mean, it does sound like a lot of other like death metal and shit I listen to. It does not sound like Korn anymore. I don't feel like I don't know.
The album sounds like Untouchables era Corn
Yeah. Okay.
is the thing. I don't know. It's not bad. I've only listened to it once. I can't like give it a review.
This is from earlier. Domino's Pizza. I understand that as a non-exempt team member of Domino's Pizza LLC working in Nevada, I am entitled to take 1, a 30-minute unpaid meal for every 8 continuous hours work, and 2, a 10-minute rest period for every 3.5 continuous hours worked. By signing this agreement below, I freely and voluntarily waive my rights to these meal and rest periods. I understand that I can revoke this agreement at any time by submitting the revocation in writing to your People First coach. This agreement shall remain in effect until receipt of such written revocation.
Let me explain what that is.
Your People First. So the people at Domino's, they don't have HR. They have a People First coach. When they're like, hey, I worked all this overtime, I didn't get paid for it, they're talking to their People First coach.
Yeah. Let me explain to you what that sign is, Brett.
People First.
It's the management recruitment program. You sign that motherfucker,
Oh,
you become a manager.
that's true. That is true.
That's all it is. It's the recruitment program.
Yep. Who's willing to do it?
Yeah, whoever signs this paper gets to be a manager. Because I gotta think that like the people that are going in there, most of them aren't gonna sign that paper. They want their fucking breaks.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure. You got him.
Fucking working at a pizza shop and not getting a break in 8 hours would be miserable.
Dude, I've been having a mind fuck with the DoorDash thing because because of the snow, I did a whole bunch of time today, and I was like, I should take breaks. Like I can pause it right now and just sit on the side of the road for 15 minutes. Like I shouldn't spend like a full straight like 6 hours like white knuckling it like trying to speed from A to B all over the fucking city. Like I should take a breather every now and then.
I used to just go home and sit if I didn't have any DoorDash or lifts.
No, DoorDash is constant.
Oh. Yeah, you should take breaks because it'll just make you miserable. Every time you do it. If you're digging doing it, then not taking breaks is going to make it so you don't dig doing it anymore. Because that's where I quit. Was just kind of like, fuck, I'm doing this 16 hours a day.
Right.
You know? I hate it.
I mean, peanut butter and jelly in the car and just whatever grab and go snacks because I don't want to take away from the money I've made, you know? Like, I mean, you smell fucking fast food all day, like, and then you just want to go buy fast food. And it's like, I'm going to trade in 2 hours of driving for one meal when I get home.
Yeah. I can't eat a fucking pizza. I can't smell pizza and then be like, I'm not going to
have pizza tonight.
Yeah. I'm going to have something.
I'm going to make something from my own groceries in my house. I've driven all day for 8 hours at breakneck speeds. I can't wait to go prepare a wholesome, nutritious meal for myself and my family.
Yeah.
I've got a full 2 hours before bed. I can just do meal prep.
I had a wholesome, I had like a really great dinner this week.
Okay.
And it was, drum roll please, leftovers.
Wow.
I used leftovers this week.
Wait, you rolled them into the next meal, or
2 days later?
Or you ate food that you already made?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which one?
Okay, so like I made short ribs last week in my Instant Pot. By the way, I love that goddamn thing, and those short ribs were incredible. And the recipe called for 8 short ribs, so I was like, okay, I'm going to go to the fucking Whole Foods and say, give me 8 short ribs. They did. And then I looked at how much meat 8 short ribs was going to be. And I'm like, well, I'll have it in 2 days. 2 days. So I made a grilled cheese, short rib grilled cheese and like put it in there. And fucking dude, I was running around the house like I just cured cancer or something, man. Oh my God. Just
use up all that leftover brisket.
Yeah.
Wait, what was it?
Short ribs.
Short ribs.
Well, I gave some to my brother-in-law too.
Okay.
He came over and picked some up, but I got through all the short ribs, and the sandwich is great. So really, I always feel like I've solved all the world's problems when I eat short ribs or when I eat leftovers instead of just buying new food, because I suck at leftovers so much. And my wife and daughter are great at it, man.
Yeah, so. I mean, I am not good at leftovers, so I have the problem where I make everything to order, which means I have to make everything to order like several times a day in order to keep that system running. I started using my Instapot for jambalaya, and I love that shit, and I have been able to, some of that, you got to just find the stuff that's good for sitting, like chilies and all that. Uh-huh. Okay, I wanted to ask you about something. Have you ever heard about Perpetual stew?
No. What's this?
It's like a pot of soup that is kept for like just on the fire, and you just keep adding to it, and it never gets thrown out or changed. Like it's just constantly running. I was listening
Hunter's Forever Soup, Hunter's Pot, or Hunter's Stew.
Look for the longest ones. People did them for like 45 years.
No.
You just show up and throw a new batch of meat and spices and stuff, and then just over time, make it fucking Italian, and then that will overpower, and then the Italian gets replaced by a nice chili. Then you can make a fucking throw turmeric in there, whatever you want.
This is crazy. Maybe I need to do a Perpetual stew.
I feel like that could be our community. That could be like, I want to do a Food Not Bombs, but it's Perpetual stew.
Yeah, it's impressive.
That we keep it running. Just like whoever shows up, you can throw cans of shit inside of this like cauldron. The fire will always be burning in the spirit of revolution, right?
Dude, I love
keep it running for years. And everything's seasoned as fuck. There's just it's just all forever cooking and boiling.
Yeah, I'm looking at I'm trying to find the longest Perpetual stews, but I'm blown away by this idea.
Yeah, isn't it awesome?
I'm gonna be fucking working on Legos and a Perpetual stew for the rest of my life.
I heard they talked about it on Oh Yeah Dude this week, which is one of my favorite podcasts, but it blew my mind when I heard about it too, and I wanted to tell everybody. I feel like I want to do one. I feel like wherever I go, dude, I'm gonna have a fucking pot of stew going that you can just grab a cup, like have a ladle and some cups, and like feed yourself.
Dude, it feels like
all your old ingredients, just shit you didn't want to eat, you just throw it in that fucking pot.
It does feel like I really like the idea of this thing, because like when you season a pan, it always is better. I love this idea.
Yeah.
And also, what I was going to say is it's kind of like an incense for your house, too.
Yeah.
You got this fucking stew always.
Yeah.
Well, people love it when they're making stew.
Oh, yeah. It smells good in there. What is that?
Yeah.
Oh, just, bric-a-brac from the fridge. We just threw shit in there.
Adam Carolla would be really impressed, too.
Then we're talking stew?
Yeah, I don't wear bracelets and, I like a stew.
We're talking stew.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
couple
45
of
years.
Effeminate millennials talking stew.
45 years is the longest one, but between August 2014 and April
No, there was a long
2015,
one.
a New York restaurant served broth from the same Perpetual stew for over 8 months.
Yes, baby. Yes. There's one in France that was like a few hundred years.
Yeah. I'm gonna do it, man. I'm gonna get a fucking. I'm gonna make a Perpetual stew, and also I'm gonna eat.
We need to start the
leftovers
street
more.
fight one.
Yeah.
We have two of them. We'll have a vegan one and the meat one, the bloodmouth one.
I mean, people really do would probably really like a community stew.
Yeah, especially if you just
something me and you've been talking about for 10 years on the show, like community cereal silos and community stew.
remember that it was in we did that stone soup was this book we did in elementary school, and everybody bought like a canned vegetable.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the same thing. I feel like you bring one can of vegetables, throw it in the forever stew, and then you can get a cup.
Yeah.
Just mix it in.
It's a Patreon tier that you can be a part of the never-ending stew.
Right.
The Perpetual stew. Hey, you come to Ohio, you want a little bit of Perpetual stew, just come on out. We'll get you there.
We're going to get a hitch put on your car, and then we're going to travel around with like a burning cauldron of stew behind us for people to buy, drinks of. Buy a cup.
Yeah. We're going to come up with the Street Fight Perpetual stew, and then when you go to a live show, you'll be able to get in on it, like for a VIP ticket.
.com in the chat is right. Is the soup at the grammar school was Perpetual.
Yeah.
My elementary school, that was also a Perpetual stew. The whole year, they never cleaned that steam tray out. They just poured more in.
Oh my God! When I worked at the golf course, the chili was Perpetual chili.
Just scrape that out the bottom. That's deglazing the pan. That's all that is.
Yeah, the Perpetual chili is what it was.
Coon George, this is related to the Sloppy Joe wagon. This might be an elevated version of a Sloppy Joe wagon.
That's literally my dream, is to do the Sloppy Joe wagon. Actually,
Yeah, just scoops of Sloppy Joe by the pound. Bring your own
cup.
Bring your own bread. Bring your own cup.
Yeah, no bread, no cups, no nothing. It's just a fucking wagon.
It's the best
full
you've
of
ever
Sloppy
had.
Joe.
It's the best Sloppy Joe you've ever fucking had. People were paying for a handful of it.
Yeah.
It'll give you if you can cup it in your hands and eat it.
And if the wagon doesn't work, we'll dump it in a baby carriage.
That'll make sense. That's the hook people need.
Sloppy Joe wagon.
All right, last call. You ready?
Let's do it.
Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey. Who's that? Who is this?
It's Bear.
Oh, Bear. Okay. You sound like Alexander a little bit, Bear. Just
Maybe.
letting you know.
It says Pierre on the auto screen. And I was like, Brian knows Pierre? Who's Pierre?
I've never met a Pierre.
Pierre?
Robes Pierre.
Yeah,
No, he's
French.
a bad one.
He was. That's the only Pierre.
He's one of the
I know.
Pierres?
Yeah. Robes Pierre. I saw something recently that had a quote from him. How's it going, Bear?
Oh, it's going great. Very tired. Just got off a shift at Chili's, but other than that, it's going great.
Chili's. How are things at Chili's?
going?
Yeah.
How's Chili's going, Bear?
Oh my God, so much has happened. I got a manager demoted. We have a whole new job function thing that is screwing over all the servers, and I got verbally attacked by a cook. But other than that, it's fantastic.
Sounds like normal Chili's life.
The listeners of this show are just terrorists when they get a job. Every third call we get, somebody's like, "Yeah, I got a manager fired because
I pointed out their bullshit policies."
Yeah. This show is the listeners of this, the people that gravitate towards this show are the worst employees in the world.
I don't know what we are at the top in the game of podcasting, but most managers fired might be it.
Yeah, we've caused a lot of problems for different managers.
it's funny as shit. The thing is, he's bad even by kitchen standards. You know, he's like constantly yelling at people. He used to like throw a lot of shit. Like he was just like an awful person.
I hate
No,
And-
nice.
Yeah, like I don't know why, but I was the only person that he wouldn't fucking pick on too. Like he like bully people directly. Like he'd pick on them for specific things, and I was like the only
can
guy
tell.
he was nice to.
Oh no.
But it really pissed me off that he was like that. You know, like I wasn't gonna tolerate it. So I finally like started getting short with him one night, and I remember he yelled at me. He was like, "What are you gonna do? I'm a manager. You can't do anything." And I was like, "I'm gonna get you fired." And he was like, "Okay, try." And I called HR, and then they demoted him from like the general manager to just like the assistant manager for the store,
Which
and,
isn't a
they
real
were like,
job.
"Is this?" Yeah, and they were like, "Well, is this okay with you? Like, can you still work with him? Do we need to transfer him out somewhere?" And I'm like, "If he'll stop being a bitch, I don't care." And then he's had to be super nice to everyone since then, and it's funny as shit.
I
Wow,
love
that's
that.
amazing.
Have I told the story on here about the one time in 7 years at the cable company, the people from New York, the biggest, toppest people in the company came out and they did a meeting without the managers in it and asked us what our issues were. And we told them what our issues were with the managers and shit. It's like the CEO. We're talking like there's no two people higher than these two guys. And we tell them all the stuff. Next day, managers were like, we have a mandatory meeting this morning. And the whole meeting was about how they're going to start being nicer and listening to us. I mean, it didn't in the end. It didn't change anything in the end. But that meeting is maybe the best work experience I ever had in my life. Because it was watching these guys that were total fucking assholes grovel.
You know what? But you're actually this is the Street Fighter mentality. Is you found a stressor in the system, and that the way that these things continue is because they need assholes like him to do it, and corporate never has to check or co-sign any of that stuff. People expect that from the Chili's work environment. They show up to it. They just take their licks like they should. You take just half a second to make corporate accountable for him. Like this happened in the workplace. It's all lawyer shit at that point.
Yep.
It has nothing to do about whether he's doing a good job, whether they like him or not. He is a clog in the machine that can be replaced just as easily. So, yeah, that's a brilliant move.
I also got to say, Bear, one of the worst people in the kitchen is the throwing stuff guy. So I
yeah.
appreciate what you did.
It's not
hate
fair.
the
No,
throwing stuff guy.
it's not fair. I don't think I should never get to that level. Physical stuff is like not okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
go ahead, Bear.
I mean, like, you know, I've worked in a lot of kitchens, and like, I already have a bit of a temper as it is. So like, you know, I'll even excuse like a plate thrown on the ground or some shit, you know, as long as it's not like thrown at people. That's where like he threw it at somebody, and I was like, what the fuck,
Yeah,
dude?
fuck
like, you can't
that.
just do that.
Yeah. I had managers and they wouldn't even be like generally mean guys all the time, but if stuff started not going their way, you could tell that like they were so mad they were about to cry. That you know that feeling when you're like really fucking mad at work, but you can't really do anything because you're not like the manager or any of that stuff, or you're not the general manager. You don't have any real power because assistant manager is a fake job. Assistant managers don't do shit.
They just agree to take less money and work 60 hours a week. They take 40 hours of pay for 60 hours of work.
Yeah. But like, he feels powerless and he's mad. So he just takes it out on every single person, and everybody in the place is like, watch out, you know, he's in a bad mood today, and everybody has to dance around it. And it's like anybody who stands up to them either gets fired or like they take the mad guy's side because the mad guy is going to be mad at them if they don't. And
Yeah.
I just always hated. I hated guys like that. They remind me of the guys that would cry when you were playing kickball in gym and they got out.
Yeah, but I mean, I honestly, I'm not even, I don't even make it like even, I don't know if it comes from me for like even a moral judgment or like I think the job is asked of them. Like, it's hush hush. It's like you need to abuse the employees in a way that makes them listen and makes them do meet the standards that corporate wants. But corporate can't stamp on any. It's illegal for them to say this is how you get the job done. But this is how managers get the job done at chain restaurants across the fucking country.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're totally right about that. And that
And
is what it's the expectation of them too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's
yeah, and like it's the same shit where like the cooks who do the same thing, like they'll move up quicker and like people will give them more respect because like they're like, oh, they're taking after the boss.
Yep.
Yeah, they're passionate.
Yeah. Absolutely. You're also right about that. Yeah, they're like Brett said, that's looked at as passion. It's looked at as they're passionate for the Chili's brand.
Yeah.
Like this dude, he comes
God damn it, these fucking plate times. Fuck, you're keeping me up all night. I'm thinking about this shit. We could have hit a 4 minute. We're doing 4:15s, we're doing 4:20s. What the fuck is going on?
Dude, if you want to hear some of the most like crazy delusional shit from any employee ever, we have this guy there. I'm not gonna say his name, but like he's a major piece of shit, right? And everyone's turned on him now because this happened like the other night. Actually, he started yelling at me, and then I fucking laughed. I was just like, "Hey, fuck you, man! I'm not dealing with this." And then he kept saying homophobic shit about me, and no one at my work was like okay with it. Like he's the only homophobic person there, so everyone was just kind of like, "Dude, why the hell did you say that?"
Yeah. Yeah, I hate. Oh God, that guy too. I once worked with this guy. I once worked with this guy who seemed like he was a really good person, and then one day he went to the bathroom at a gas station, and there was another person in there. And when he came out, he was like, I almost punched this, and he was looking at my penis in the bathroom, and it's like, no, he wasn't.
Yeah.
And like, cool out a little bit. I remember I had to talk this guy down and tell him like, you're not like attractive, dude. Like nobody's trying to catch a fucking peek of your penis.
Yeah.
You fucking wear you wear clothes from like
we get it. You spend a lot of time telling all those people to stay away. We fucking get it. Yeah. They get it. We understand the signals you're putting out. You're a very manly man.
Yeah, man. You're so tough and manly too.
Yeah.
I mean, and at this time in my life, I'm not like the wokest guy, but I remember just being so shocked. There was also a guy that we worked with that was 100% not gay, but they all called him gay because of his voice, and they just said he's gay. And I remember I really thought he was gay for like the first 4 years I worked with him, and we were kind of friendly and shit. And we got stuck doing side duty one day and shit. And I spoke to somebody else that works there, and I was like, no, he's got a girl. He's not gay. He has a girlfriend. It was just all the guys decided at the cable company that's the gay guy. And it's like, okay, whatever. It was very weird working in that situation, but that is a lot of fucking places.
But that guy, like, he has this idea. He'll start yelling. He'll be like, I have this pin. And it's some fucking pin that they gave him because he's worked in the kitchen long enough now. That like he's considered like a kitchen master or whatever. And so he'll be yelling at people. We'll be like, hey dude, this table needed broccoli and you gave them like the wrong shit. And you'll be like, oh, I have this fucking pin. I know what's supposed to go out. And we're all like, dude, like we're talking to the customer. We know what they asked for. You put the wrong thing on the plate, man.
Oh no.
I have this pen. I have the 20-year pin. So what are you gonna do? How many years is the pen?
Yeah.
Is it pin or pen?
And he's like,
Brian's saying pen.
I can't say that word anymore.
Pin. He's like delusional enough too that he'll yell at managers for it. He'll be like, I don't see you wearing a kitchen pin, and they're like, I could fire you. Like, what are you doing?
So how many years is the kitchen pen? Pen? I can't say the word.
I think that his is a 5-year. I think that he's been here for 5 years, and that's how he got in.
Impressive.
And there's like more for like other higher like year numbers.
I mean, but in society, there are people that are pathetic that think that a pin from their job makes them important, and they're kind of paper tigers, and they get away with being like that, We make a lot of excuses for pathetic people, you know?
Yeah.
You got to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I can't imagine being like that though. Like if my boss handed me a pin, I'd be like, "Why? Save your money. Pay me the $3 it costs to make this pin." Like,
Right. I'll invoice you for the pen.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
the pin. I can't say the word. I'm sorry. It's a
fine.
pin. I get them confused in my now. This is like a recent thing where I'm just all the time like, yeah, he used a pen, or yeah, he pinned him. But I can't say the right one when it's time to say. I get it wrong I get it wrong 8 out of 10 times.
Okay, you say he penned him?
Penned him. I have said him penned him, which is also a word if you pinned him up, right? Penned him up. He's in a pig pen.
Oh, okay. You're right.
Yeah.
I was thinking just the writing utensil.
Yeah. Well, Bear, thanks for calling. We are going home.
awesome. Oh, hey, quick before you kick me off the show, wanted to shout out to my boyfriend. We've been together for 1 year today. It's a big deal.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. That's a milestone.
Found love in a hopeless place, like Rihanna said.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just like Rihanna said.
Well, thanks for calling, Bear.
Yeah,
We'll
what's
see
your
you.
socials? Where can people follow the Bear story?
Oh yeah, I have an Instagram. It's at Bittacina, BITTACINNA. I'm a photographer now. I'm getting started with that. So if you guys like photography, check that out.
Yeah. Love to look at pictures. Thanks for calling in. Appreciate it. Have a good one. We are Street Fight Radio. We will be back on Wednesday night live on your twitch.tv/Street Fight Radio streams. Get the app on all of your stuff and follow along and chat. Let us know what's going on with your life. And
Send me Legos.
send any old Legos you got. Brian can't do freestyle Legos yet.
Yeah,
So
it
you
needs
got-
to be a set.
You got to have the instructions. Can you print the instructions out?
Yeah, nope. I need a set with the instructions.
With the box, seems like you're trying to resell it.
Wouldn't mind the box either. I will do the Legos.
What do you do with the boxes?
Oh, I don't. I just have them in my office right now.
What are you going to do with them?
Nothing.
Put them back in?
I'm just too lazy to take
Throw
them
'em.
out of my office. But yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see you on Wednesday night.